Top 10 superheroes without superpowers. Let's start with number 10 in the list, Zorro. Those who would threaten and oppress the common folk of Alta California, be they corrupt officials or tyrannical noblemen, should beware retribution from the cunning swashbuckler known as Zorro, hiding behind the facade of the flamboyant and cowardly aristocrat Don Diego de la Vega. The masked avenger lies in wait to humiliate his enemies and uplift the morale of his countrymen with his swordsmanship, theatrics, and charm. Number 9, Rorschach. The abused son of a sex worker, Walter Kovac, developed into a brutal masked vigilante with firm right-wing principles who took his superhero nom de guerre from the ever-shifting symmetrical inkblots that adorn his otherwise stark mask and which reflect his black and white view of morality. Rorschach has no obvious superpowers, he merely has his strong will, peak human physical strength, and finely honed sense of timing and precision. Number 8, Hit Girl. The only child we have on this list is someone who has more than demonstrated that she can do what it takes to win a fight. Hit Girl was trained from a very young age how to be an effective killer, and she doesn't even need any powers to do it. She's skilled in guns, hand-to-hand combat, and has no qualms about ending the life of her opponents in gory fashion. Her young age might not make her an equal to some of the others on this list, but figuring how good she is now, just imagine how much better she would get when she's older. Number 7, Hawkeye. Hawkeye started off his journey as a bad guy, as he worked alongside Black Widow in their attempts to take down Marvel's finest heroes. But he eventually turned good and has been a crucial member of the Avengers ever since. While he does not have any superpowers or mutant abilities, Hawkeye flaunts some incredible archery skills. He developed his archery skills very early on in life as he traveled with a carnival, and he was billed as Hawkeye, the world's greatest marksman. Number 6, Black Widow. This is a slightly tricky one. Natasha Romanoff, codenamed the Black Widow, is a product of a shadowy KGB program designed to train spies and assassins for the USSR, which involved enhancing her to resist aging, disease, and to self-heal. However, in the current era, she is mainly recognized as without clear superpowers and simply possessing a deadly skill set. Number 5, Nightwing. Nightwing, formerly known as Dick Grayson, is a natural acrobat who was taken on by Bruce Wayne's ward, leading him to be trained as Batman's first sidekick Robin. When he left Batman, he went on to become the leader of the Teen Titans, after which he rebranded himself as Nightwing, flaunting a new look and matured attitude to match. While Robin has gotten a ton of slack for being a sidekick over the years, Nightwing is actually pretty tough. He is much like his mentor in terms of his skills and training, understandably so. Since Batman trained Nightwing from a very young age, his combat skills, techniques, and additional abilities are near perfection. Nightwing uses a variety of tools, gadgets, and weapons in order to fight crime. While Nightwing doesn't stack up to Batman and his colleagues in a range of areas, his gymnast and athletic skills make him a seriously tough opponent. Number 4, Green Arrow. Green Arrow is a vigilante superhero who fights crime using archery, technology, and martial arts. In his secret identity, he is politician and former billionaire Oliver Queen, a hot-headed social activist and ex-owner of Queen Industries. Green Arrow is really tough when it comes to the archers in the superhero world, being able to shoot over 30 arrows a minute, making him the best archer in the DC universe. There are very few enemies that could dodge his attacks, making him incredibly deadly. However, he is also pretty skilled in terms of hand-to-hand combat, and he can definitely stand his ground against a range of foes. He's a longtime member of the Justice League and has trained various heroes that would follow in his path. Number 3, Punisher. The Punisher is possibly one of the most brutal and ruthless heroes out there. Technically, he is actually an anti-hero and behaves like more of a vigilante. Frank Castle was initially trained in the Marine, and his rise to crime fighting was brought on by a deeply tragic event, as his entire family was slaughtered in a violent event. After this point, Frank Castle rebranded himself as the Punisher, a fitting name. He is absolutely lethal and shows no mercy when it comes to facing bad guys. One of the main differences between the Punisher and many other superheroes, he's skilled with numerous firearms, is well versed in martial arts, and has taken on some tough Marvel characters such as the Hulk, Sentry, and Wolverine. While the Punisher doesn't have any superpowers, his savage attitude and style make him feared by anyone who's encountered him. Number 2, Iron Man. It's hard to find any superhero fan that hasn't heard about Iron Man, and more recent Marvel installations have only increased his popularity. It's easy to assume that this tough and rough Iron Soldier has powers, but he really doesn't, as Tony Stark is just an average human kind of compared to other superheroes. However, Tony Stark is extremely intelligent and has quite a tragic backstory that led him to his superheroic destiny. This billionaire was captured as a prisoner in his past, and he used scraps of metal and tech to create a suit that could break him out of his confinement. Although Tony Stark did end up gaining some sort of superpower through the Extremis virus, enabling him to manipulate any and all electronics, this was only later on down the line. Tony Stark did not have any powers, other than his supernatural intelligence and wits, for the vast majority of Iron Man's career. Number 1. Batman. When it comes to superheroes who are not superhuman, no one embodies the gold standard more than Batman. Deeply affected by the senseless murder of his parents, Bruce Wayne poured his mind, body, and vast resources into leading a steadfast and vengeful crusade against the criminal element of Gotham City, striking fear into the hearts of villains wearing a visage inspired by a dark creature of the night. Batman is all about tools, tactics, technique, and aggressive confrontations. His approaches can be compared to that of a ninja, and he is definitely one of the best trained fighters in the entire DC universe. But Batman also flaunts a few unique traits and skills that make him a force to be reckoned with. He has a photographic memory, which really helps him out when acting as a detective in cases and learning new fighting styles. Batman has mastered more than 100 different forms of martial arts and uses those styles and techniques alongside his impressive assortment of high-tech weapons. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more video, please hit the subscribe button. And if you have something to say, please leave a comment.